Hi guys, welcome to Movie Chat and More. My name is Richard and today we're going to be concluding my personal ranking of the Halloween film franchise. Now before I go on, before we crack on, I said there's 10 films in the Halloween franchise. Of course, there's one coming out later this year, 2018. I can't really do that one, but there are 10 so far, not including the new one. That includes Halloween 3. Now I said I was going to be talking about all 10, but not Halloween 3. How does that work, you ask? Well, let's just get it out of the way really quickly. Halloween 3, it's an okay horror film in its own right. Personally, I'm not overly keen on it, but, you know, it serves its purpose. You know, it has a fan base, okay? So that's Halloween 3 out of the way. Let's carry on with the real Halloween films, okay? Let's carry on with the Michael Myers franchise. So, ladies and gents and members of the jury, why do I say that? Got the DVDs right here next to me, just like last time. If you haven't checked out my last video ranking the Halloween films or franchise, or check out my channel, it's there. You'll see it. This is my 6th favorite film in the franchise, and it is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Wow. The black sheep of the family, am I right? Anyway, Halloween 5, made in 1989. Well, released in 1989, I think. Yeah, no, of course, I know. 1989, Halloween 5. A lot of people don't like this film. A lot of people hate this film. And there's reasons for that. I understand why a lot of people, maybe not you, but a lot of people don't like Halloween 5. The production was rushed, no doubt about that. It was far too soon to make another Halloween film. I mean, give it at least 2-3 years, 2 years, just 2 years. Don't make another one the very next year. Not in the Halloween film, the Halloween film. Get my words out in a minute. The Halloween film franchise, give it a couple of years. Because I believe when they were making this film, they were actually writing new parts of the script while the filming was going on. So the script wasn't even finalized while they were shooting the damn movie. So, it shows with the ending, which is the introduction, I guess, of the Curse of Thorn, which is Halloween 6. That's what Halloween 6 is all about, really. I like Halloween 6. I've already spoken about Halloween. I prefer Halloween 6 to Halloween 5. But there are redeeming qualities in Halloween 5. I don't want to talk about it too much. I have a video about Halloween 5. Is it so bad? It's on my channel. Check it out, guys. But for the sake of this video, I do want to touch up on a few things. Danielle Harris, her performance in Halloween 5, as Jamie Lloyd, is probably even better than her performance in Halloween 4. I'm not saying Halloween 5 is a better film than Halloween 4. It's not, in my opinion. But that kid's performance in that film was remarkable in Halloween 4 and especially 5, because for the first 3/4 kind of of the film, she's a mute. She can't speak. And you can see as the film progresses, she's trying to talk. You've seen it, and I think, spoiler alerts if you haven't, for all of these Halloween films. Spoiler alerts. Anyway, she's phenomenal in Halloween 5. And she's, like I say, I think she's on a par with Drew Barrymore. I really do. As a child actress, I really do. And she's still a talented actress to this day, or actor. I don't want to pigeonhole. Donald Pleasance is back in Halloween 5, and any Halloween film without him isn't as good, in my opinion. I say in my opinion a lot. I've got to cut that out because it's getting on my nerves, but I hope it's not getting on yours. I don't want to do this channel and talk about films, and I'm not here to support your biases. You may think Halloween 5 is the greatest Halloween film ever, but I'm not here to say you're right. And you can disagree with me. If you disagree with me saying Halloween 5 is okay but not great, comment down below and let me know. Get in touch. Like the channel, we need more subscribers. But I appreciate the guys who have subscribed already, Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it, more than you know. We're still on Halloween 5, right? Anyway, Eddie Cornell as Rachel is killed off way too early. In the first go around, she just comes out of the shower and Michael's waiting for her. Originally, in the script, she was supposed to have scissors shoved down her throat, and she basically said, "No way, I'm not going out like that." Well, Rachel is not going out like that, and she gets stabbed in the shoulder, if I remember rightly. Yep, and like I said in my other video about Halloween 5, I love the soundtrack. It was the first one, I believe, to have a soundtrack. I'm not talking about a score. I'm not talking about the music, okay? We all love the Halloween theme. But this one, as far as I know, as far as I can remember, is the first one to have songs. It has Anything for Money. Great song. It's on the soundtrack. Of course it's on the soundtrack. What? Anyway, Anything for Money, and my favorite from the soundtrack is a song called Romeo Romeo by Becca. So Halloween 5 is my Halloween 5 is my 6th favorite Halloween film. Because, quick recap, Halloween 1, Halloween 4, Halloween 2, H2O, and then Halloween 6. So that's, they were my first 5, and now Halloween 5 is my 6th favorite. Okay, that's that one out of the way. You're thinking, my next favorite Halloween film may come as a surprise to you. It may not. I don't know. Let me know. My next favorite Halloween film is, ladies and gentlemen, and this one. Yeah. Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. Hated by a lot of people, especially by hardcore Halloween fans. But you know what? I'm a hardcore Halloween fan, and I don't think this film is too bad. I think what Rob Zombie did is exactly what John Carpenter told him to do. Because when Rob Zombie knew he was going to be making this film, he made a phone call to John, as far as I know, and he said, "Hey John, I'm going to be making this film. I'm going to be doing Halloween. It's like a remake, a reimagining, a rebirth." And Carpenter basically said to him, "Make it your own," and that's what he did. And is it a Rob Zombie film? Yes, it is. But a lot of people say you have to be a Rob Zombie fan to enjoy it. Now, I don't adhere to that at all. Apart from Rob Zombie's Halloween, the only other film he's made that I like is a film called The Devil's Rejects, which was, I think, a sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses or something, House of a Thousand Corpses, which I didn't like. So I'm not really a Rob Zombie fan when it comes to his films, but with Halloween, he made it a Rob Zombie Halloween. There's no doubt about that. There's lots of swearing, unnecessary violence, too much gore, too much blood, but it's a Rob Zombie film, and if you're familiar with his work, and you'll know. I mean, when I went to the cinema to see this, I was there on my own. Poor little me. Anyway, and there was, I believe, 2 other people in the cinema. Now, I can't remember how well this did. It must have done pretty well at the box office because it had a sequel. So it must have made its money. And then some. I'm just gonna keep on moving this little cursor around. I am using primitive software to record these videos. A little bit of a funny story. I already recorded this bloody one. Yeah, it took me about half hour, 40 minutes, and then the camera shut down on me. The screen went black, and I spent 40 minutes at least doing this video. I was standing over there in a different part of the room with probably better lighting, but I was standing up and it was hurting my legs eventually, and everything went tits up. So I've had to do it again. But, I enjoy talking to you guys, so where's the harm? What else do I like about Rob Zombie's Halloween? Why is it my 7th favourite film in the franchise? Well, there are many things about. I like the mask. I like the mask. I like the way he gets the mask. I mean, I'm not talking about when we see him wear it as a child. I'm talking about when he goes back. He's grown up. He's escaped from the asylum, and he goes back to the Myers house, his house, and he's ripping up the floorboards and everything like that. And the music, that classic Carpenter theme, is playing, slightly tweaked, but still good. For 2007, it was great. And I like the way he gets the mask. I love that scene, and it's dirty and it's dusty and it's got cracks and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, my favourite mask will always be from 78 and 81, which was the same mask. But I like the mask in Rob Zombie's film. I'm not overly keen on the guy who played Myers. Was it Tyler Mane? I'm not saying he didn't do a good job. It's just he's too big. He wasn't really the boogeyman. I mean, Nick Castle, who played, and Dick Warlock, who played Halloween, who played the Shape in Halloween 2 and Nick in Halloween 78. They weren't huge guys. I mean, they weren't short. They were not short guys, but they weren't huge hulking giants like Tyler Mane. And that's he's too big. He's not really the boogeyman. He is and he isn't. You probably know what I'm talking about. He's too big to be Michael Myers, but that's what Rob Zombie wanted, and that's what Rob Zombie got. So I like the mask. Tyler Mane as the Shape did an okay job, but I think the guy was too big in the first place. I don't want to see Michael Myers, a 7-foot giant Michael Myers. It's an aspect of the film I don't like. Danielle Harris, however, returns to the franchise in this film as Annie. And she's, like I say, she's still a good actress. She's still very talented, and I think she's underused in Hollywood, very much so. I think there's a lot. If I was an agent or publicist or whatever, or if I was in the industry and I had a chance to promote Danielle Harris, I think I would do a hell of a better job than whoever is promoting her right now. She's not getting work. On the indie circuit, okay, I'm not trashing the indie circuit. I'm not saying the indie circuit is bad or anything like that. It's rubbish. Indie circuit, who cares about that? No, I'm not saying that at all. But I do believe Danielle Harris is a much better actress than she's given credit for. I mean, you go out on the streets and you say, who's Julia Roberts? Yeah? I'm not comparing her acting ability to Julia Roberts. But everyone's going to know who Julia Roberts is, right? At least 99.9% of people out on the street, maybe even 100, will know who Julia Roberts is. If you go out and say Danielle Harris, who? Who's that? That's what I'm talking about. She's underused. She's mismanaged. That's the phrase I'm looking for. And she was great in Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and she played the part of Annie, the sheriff's daughter, Sheriff Brackett, in Rob Zombie's film, and she does a great job. Yeah. So yeah, oh yeah, Malcolm McDowell as Sam Loomis, Dr. Sam Loomis. I think he is brilliant in this film. He's an updated version of Donald Pleasance's portrayal of Sam Loomis. No one's ever going to be better than Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, okay? But for this era, I think he did a great job. Malcolm McDowell did a great job taking over the role. And it's a different kind of Loomis, like I said. It's a Loomis for 2007. 2007 audiences, anyway, because, yeah. There are some lines he says, some quotes that are pretty close to some of the lines Donald Pleasance was given in the original Halloween film. But he's not a carbon copy, and I think that was a creative choice for him not to be a carbon copy of Donald Pleasance and his version of Sam Loomis, because I don't think audiences of 2007 would have cottoned on to that character. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Malcolm McDowell could have come on and done exactly what Donald Pleasance did, and audiences would have loved him. But personally, I don't think it would have worked. That's just, I say it a lot, my opinion, Cracking on. My next favorite, in the franchise, in the Michael Myers franchise. Like I said in my last video, when I was talking about my favorites from 1 to 5, when it gets to this stage, I'm not really going to have a lot of good things to say about these films. These last two films, well, the next one has redeeming qualities. It does. There are aspects. Let's just, Halloween Resurrection. See it? Yep. Halloween 8. Yeah. Where do I begin? Okay, let's get some of the big factors out of the way. That Busta Rhymes in this film. Now, come on. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I gotta say, I'm 37 now, nearly 38. When I saw this film, it was released in 2002. I probably saw it, I didn't see it at the cinema. I saw it probably when I was like 24. And I loved Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection back then. But I don't know. Now, I see what other people are talking about when it comes to drop kicking Michael Myers and trick or treat, mother. I understand where you're all coming from. If you hate that, because you got to remember, this is the same timeline from 1978. If that had happened to the Michael Myers of Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, then I don't think fans would have minded so much. But because, and I'm a fan. Look, I'm a fan. I do have a few Halloween t-shirts, but I try not to wear ones that are too bright, because I've noticed it doesn't reflect well, or should I say reflects too well, and I don't want it to be a distraction. So I do have other t-shirts. So anyway, yeah, I understand why Busta Rhymes is not liked in this film by many people. However, it's hard for me because I loved it when I was in my 20s, and now I do look at it and I think, yeah, that's pretty dumb. The whole drop kicking Michael Myers out the window and trick or treat mother, it's funny. Busta Rhymes is funny in this movie. I still say that. I'll still give him that. The thing that really bugs me about Halloween Resurrection is it relies on pop culture, what was popular at the time. Now, see, this is why films like Halloween Resurrection won't last, okay? In 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, if we're still around, yeah, people will still be talking about Halloween 1978. They're still going to be scared by it. Maybe not as much as they were back in the day, but it's still going to be relevant. Yeah, relevant. Yeah. Anyway, some words I have problems with, so you probably already noticed that. Anyway, yeah, it's still going to be scary. The Shining, a horror masterpiece directed by the late great Stanley Kubrick. Scary. The Exorcist. Scary. The reason those films are scary, and probably always will be scary, is because... Excuse me, I'm just making sure the camera doesn't go to sleep on me. That was annoying last time. But no, it's what's scary is simplicity. You know? What's scary is things that will always be scary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's face it. Halloween 1978. Let's forget all the sequels for a second and just well, that's what they're doing, aren't they? So let's do it now. Let's pretend Halloween 2 and 4 and 3 and let's pretend they didn't exist. Halloween. It's the boogeyman. It's a guy in a mask with no motive whatsoever coming back to his hometown to kill babysitters. That's it. Later on, he became Laurie Strode's brother. Let's forget that for a minute and concentrate on Halloween. It's always going to be scary because the story is scary. It will never, ever age. A guy in a mask with a kitchen knife killing babysitters is always going to be scary, am I wrong? But with Halloween Resurrection, it relies, or should I say relied, upon what was popular at the time. Case in point, what's her name? Katie Sackhoff in Halloween Resurrection? Boy, people talk about Tina from Halloween 5 being annoying. I think she's just as annoying, if not more so. Anyway, there's a scene where she says, you know the film, there's Busta Rhymes has a company called Dangertainment, and he's doing this live feed from the Myers house, and he's got a group of teenagers in the Myers house investigating bits and bobs and looking around, snooping around the house, and it's a live internet broadcast, okay? And I can't remember her name. Jen. Katie Sackhoff or Shackoff, whatever. She played Jen, I believe. And there's a scene where she looks at one of the other teenagers and says, "You're about this close from being booted off the island." Now, being 37 years old, I know what she was talking about. Do you? Do you remember The Island? A TV show called The Island? Where someone was voted off every week or every other week? I never watched the show. But I do believe it had a Big Brother kind of feel to it. An extreme version of Big Brother. So when she says, and they had to vote people off the island, okay? The guys on the island voted off their friends. I believe that's how it went. So when she says, "You're about this close from being booted off the island," it was current in 2002, but in 30 years' time, 10, 15, 20 years' time, who knows? It's not going to be current. So that's just one of the elements of resurrection. When I say films like The Shining and The Exorcist and Halloween 78 are always going to be scary, it's because they don't rely on crap like that. They're scary because of simplicity. Did I pronounce it right that time? Hopefully. That's why those films last. People are still scared by The Shining because The Shining is a film about a guy who goes with his wife and child to this hotel, and he's an author. And you've seen The Shining, have you not? it's a very, very simple story. This hotel, the Overlook Hotel, was it? Apparently it's haunted in real life. She yeah. I mean, it's always going to be scary. It's about a guy in a haunted hotel, and he starts to go mad. So we've got Jack Nicholson in a hotel with his wife and small son, his young son, and he starts to lose his mind. It's always going to be scary, guys. It's always going to be scary. They don't rely, I mean, on pop culture references. I mean, like Resurrection did, Halloween Resurrection, talking about the island. I'm not saying they went into great depth about the island, but it's a line where future generations are not going to understand what the hell she's talking about. And the premise of the webcast, the internet broadcast of the film, what Busta Rhymes' company, what Busta Rhymes is doing, I know, and I know for certain, in maybe 10 years' time, 15, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less even, it's not going to be relevant, and if it's not relevant, it's not scary, okay? That's what I'm talking about. So the whole idea of resurrection is poor, in my opinion, okay? I like it in a way. Like I said, when I was in my 20s, I thought it was great. But now I'm getting a little bit older. I know what people are talking about when they say drop kicking Michael Myers out of a window, trick or treat, mother. I know what people are talking about now. I get it now, and that's why I'm not a big fan of Halloween Resurrection, guys and girls. I'm really not a big fan of that movie. I think Brad Laree as the Shape, I think he was okay. We did a pretty good job. I like the mask. A lot of people don't. A lot of people compare them. A lot of people compare the mask in Halloween Resurrection to the Crow. Where are they coming from? I mean, if you believe that to be, if you're one of the people who believe the mask in Halloween Resurrection resembled the Crow from 1994, one of my favourite films of all time, by the way. If you think that mask looks anything like the Crow, then comment below and let me know and tell me how, because I don't see it. I don't see what people are talking about when they say the mask looks like the Crow, Brandon Lee, 1994 I think that film was made, and sadly they're remaking it. I think it's only a matter of time. I'm not sure if they're remaking the Crow right now, but it's been on the cards for a long time. Why do they do it? Anyway, cracking on to my least favourite film in the series. Now, I like to think of myself a positive kind of guy. So I'm not going to sit here for the next half hour, 40 minutes, saying just how crap I think this film is, okay? Rob Zombie's H2. To me, it's just dreadful. I can't think of one. Actually, I can think of one redeeming quality. I can think of Daniel Harris being in the movie, coming back as Annie. But then again, I don't like the death scene. I don't like the way we see Annie eventually murdered in Rob Zombie's H2. She's ripped to pieces. I don't want to see that. Maybe you do. I mean, maybe you love that death scene from Rob Zombie's H2. But if there is a redeeming quality for me in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, it would be Danielle Harris. I hark on about her a lot. I think she's great. That's why. What else? I can't think of anything in this. Rob Zombie did an interview once. I believe it's on one of the Halloween documentaries. It could be 25 years later, 25 years of terror, something like that. And Rob Zombie said, I think the music to Halloween is everything. So I would ask you, Rob, where the hell is it in your H2? If we hear it, I don't remember it. Maybe it's played at the end or something while the credits are rolling. In Rob Zombie's Halloween, I probably forgot to mention, I love the music in Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like I said, I think I said the main theme is tweaked a little bit for 2007 audiences, but all the other themes, such as the shape stalks, I think it's called, the bum, 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 that's identical to what it was in Carpenter's film. I don't think they changed it or tweaked it at all. So Rob, great job on that one. Great job. And then Laurie's theme. I mean, that's in Rob Zombie's film from 2007. But it's not in Rob Zombie's H2. So if I was to ever meet the guy, I would say, look, all the respect in the world, with all due respect, if you believe the music to Halloween is everything, why did you cut it out? Basically, where was it, Rob? If you truly believe the music is everything, why did you negate it almost totally in 2009 in H2? It wasn't there. It just wasn't there. The death scenes were exaggerated. They were overly violent. I know they were in his first Halloween film too, Rob Zombie's Halloween. But in this one, it's really a Rob Zombie production, guys. I mean, this is Rob Zombie 100%. I'm not taking anything away from the guy as a director. It's just not my cup of tea. The mask in H2 is ridiculously bad. Okay, there's not much of it left. It's like it's down. You can see his face, and Michael Myers has got this beard. It's crap. Why are we seeing Myers' face like this? Why? Okay, at the climax of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007, Laurie is basically straddling Michael Myers, and she's got the gun here, and she's firing away, and the gun won't go off, and when it finally does, in real life it would have probably taken his head off. So people could argue, well, of course the mask is going to be damaged. He got shot in the face at a very close range, so the mask is going to be damaged. But does it have to be? It's a film. It was a creative choice for them to make the mask look the way it did in H2. And for me, it's a pile of crap, guys. Let's just go ahead and say it. It's shit. I'm trying to keep this. I mean, I could go on and on, but like I say, I'm not going to. I want to be positive about these films, okay? I'm trying to pick out positive aspects out of every Halloween film. But with with Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's H2, I find it very difficult. I do. There's a reason, probably, why Rob Zombie's not making any more Halloween films. And the new one has nothing to do with Rob Zombie. It was just a bad film. It wasn't just a bad film. Like I say, this is all my personal opinion, okay? Don't go... Well, you can, if you leave any comments you like. If you love Rob Zombie's H2, by all means, tell me I'm wrong. I don't mind. But, for me, I am so glad that's not the last one. The new one coming out in October 2018 is... it's got to be better than that. Even if it's not great, it's got to be better than Rob Zombie's H2. I mean, for me. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. I think I've rambled on enough once again. I think I've taken up more than enough of your precious time. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that, and I really do. I know some YouTubers say, I appreciate it, and but I really do. And I know we're low on subscribers at the moment, but that will build up. Tell your friends if you want to, and if you've got guys out there, friends or family who happen to have an affection for the Halloween series or horror movies, and then let them know and tell them about Movie Chat and more. And when I say, I called it Movie Chat and more because primarily, I'm going to be talking about films, mostly horror and then comedy and action and drama, but right now I want to concentrate on Halloween and maybe Friday the 13th. That's probably going to be my next video. Actually, I'll maybe talk about some of the Jason movies, but when I say and more, in the future I'm going to be talking about sitcoms, some of my favorite sitcoms. I'm going to be talking about maybe some music I like, and share my thoughts, and you can always tell me what terrible taste in music I have. I might even throw in some WWE at some point, but don't quote me on that. Well, actually you can, because I've just said it, so you have to quote me on that, but don't hold me to my word on that. If I talk about wrestling, it's going to be probably old school wrestling. When I say old school, 80s, 90s, early noughties. I don't follow the product, WWE product now. I don't like it anymore. But so I might foray into that at some point in the future. But for right now, and for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be concentrating on Halloween and other horror movies. And up next, hopefully, I want to do not a review. Like I said, I don't like calling these things reviews. They're chats. We're just shooting the breeze here, guys, But up next, I might want to talk about Friday the 13th Part 2, released in 1981. The same year as Halloween 2, I love that movie, and I've got a good friend who loves it more than I do. It's his favourite in the Friday series, for good reason. For many good reasons, but I'm going to think about that. I need to think about that, because there's no point me coming on here and being boring. Now, if you're thinking, well, that's what you've been doing for the last 20 minutes, half hour, you're just boring, whatever. But no, I want to get some notes together on Friday the 13th Part 2. I've seen it many, many, many times, okay? But I want to get some notes together. I don't necessarily want the notes in front of me, like I did when I was talking about Halloween H2O, good points and bad points. Check out the video, guys. It's on my channel. But I do want to know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about already. But up next, probably Friday the 13th Part 2. That's a special request from a very good friend. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and like I say, I really mean that. Like, comment, subscribe, and like I say, let's get the numbers up there. I appreciate you subscribing. I really do. Like I say, more than you know. I really appreciate it. But let's get the numbers up there. Let's get the chats going, Movie chat and more. Because like I say, in the future, I'm going to be talking about sitcoms and whatever. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and keep well, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.